you doing? Been a while. What do I say to that? I've been through a few things, but it's no different. It's life, isn't it? You have your ups, you have your downs, but just like a heart rate, it needs to have that level of up and down to show that you're actually living. Otherwise, I'll be just flatlining, whether it be a high, doing nothing else but just being high.
Hey, 'cause I got high, because I got high, because I got high. La 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 da da da.
Or whether it be a low, just being low. I need to have the ups, the downs to show I'm living. But I'm telling you, when you have those downs, as much as you try to look forward to the ups, the downs still hurt. See, I've come to realize that your life is like your YouTube channel. Whether you actually have one or not, it's actually the same thing. If you're not a fan of the things that you're putting out for people to watch, for people to absorb about yourself, the way you portray information, the way you portray yourself, change the content. Because too many times we just accept what's come our way and we deliver it in a half-assed way, or in a I don't support what I'm doing, but I'm doing it because it gives me a paycheck, or I'm doing things just because. There's got to be a time where you got to look at yourself and think, is that a justified reason for doing what I do? You know, because when you're no longer around and you are no longer of this earth, your channel, your legacy will still remain. And all people will remember is what they saw of you, what you allowed to be portrayed of yourself. Even if you are an actual YouTuber and actually have your own channel, you can manipulate it, falsify it to make it seem like it's something it's not really is. But when it comes to your life, you could probably do the same thing, but it'll take a lot more work to try and get people to fall for that. Because with YouTube, you can create thumbnails that make it seem quite enticing with a really catchy title and then suck people in. You could probably do the same thing in real life. You could probably wear something quite smart, sophisticated, in the sense of the word that you're well traveled, so you understand the way you portray yourself in this certain outfit would show that you're of a certain stature, when in actual case that may not be the fact, but you want to portray that just because you can and because you want to manipulate the situation you find yourself in. I'm not saying to sound preachy, so you know, take it as it comes, but just how I've really come to notice that your life is like a YouTube channel, and if you really don't like the content that you're putting out, change it, because you're the one that's reading the script and reciting it the way you are. Unfortunately, I've come to learn of a couple of losses kind of close to me. One of them was a friend who I met through work and has really helped me through my depression, and he was looking after his father, and today he was on my mind, and unfortunately I haven't really been speaking to him much over the last few months because, you know, life, and thought he was on my mind. I'm going to give him a quick call and ask him how he was, ask him how his family was, ask him how his dad was, to which he replied that his dad passed at the end of November, and 2 weeks later he had to bury him, and it was just before Christmas, so it was a, sort of like a whirlwind type thing for him. And obviously the New Year came and went, and it's sickening to know that, yeah, I haven't spoken to him since and he's gone. But my friend is so positive. He even at his lowest point, he's still got something positive to say and to try and encourage people, and that's something I really admire about him. And he's a great guy. You know, I wish him and his family all the best, and somehow hope they find some form of comfort in this situation. With that being said, that's a down part. hopefully he'll find an up part at some point. The problem is that when you have an up part after having a down part like that, you kind of feel guilty for not being able to share that up part with the person who's no longer around. Also, my wife's grandfather passed away. It hurts her a lot, and her and her family are pretty much like how I am, where we don't really show our emotions too much, which can be a good and bad thing, but yeah, there's only so much you can really hold in. It's hit me really hard because, for those of you that don't know, I've lost 5 family members on separate occasions, and that was over a 16-month period. Not saying it for any sympathy, just saying it because that is my life. I had more suits dressed to go to a funeral than I did to any other function. So thankfully I'm over that to a degree. It's fashioned me into the person I am today, but I'm very mindful of the fact that it's still a very raw subject, and it hurts me because it's another person in my newfound family's life that is no longer there, that I cannot get to know. It hurts because it means my wife has no more grandfathers here on this earth anymore, and all the memories, all the conversations, all those are things that are just going to be a memory now that has to be kept alive by the conversations that she will have with her and her family about this wonderful man that graced us all with his presence. It also hurts me because I know that my father-in-law has lost his father and lost his mother about 4 or 5 years ago. So he has no parents left here, and he is such a grafter. He is a fantastic human being. I've known him for 13 years, and yeah, it hasn't always been rosy between us, but he's been such a father figure to me, and I have such overwhelming respect for him that it hurts me because I know he's hurting inside, and there's nothing I can do but just try and be there for him. You know, there's one guy I chat to quite frequently on YouTube, and he lost his mother recently as well. And I know I tell people to stay strong, keep your head up, but it is hard. It is really, really hard. But all I can say is, as long as their memory lives on in each of us, they're never truly gone. But for those of us that are still around, producing content via our life, via our YouTube channel, make sure what we're putting out is a true reflection of who we are. Otherwise, you might want to question what you're doing.